Hello and welcome to Fox Gaming. Today I will show you an easy way to make a simple double-sided gaming board that you can use for your wargames. Whether it's ME/SPG, Warhammer, other tabletop game or an RPG. I have played tabletop games for a long time, but I have never made my own board. This is my first attempt and I am pleased by how it turned out. It goes to show that making a simple board is not hard. If I can do it, so can you as well. The first thing you will need is some sort of material to work as the foundation of your board. You can use wood, XPS foam, or anything that can be made into the size that you need. I had these tile backers from when I renovated my bathroom. These have a layer of foam reinforced with the glass fiber on both sides. This makes them very thin, sturdy and really light, so it's easy to store them away and carry them around. One of these boards are 24 by 96 inches in size. I needed a 48 by 48 board, so I cut out two boards of 24 by 48 inches. To give the board some structure and to hide some of the lines in the glass fiber, I used filler or spackle and applied that to the entire board. Depending on the brand you use, drying time will vary. I let my board dry overnight. The first side of the board is going to be a dirt/grassy area. So I started to apply some sand to the boards, using a mix of PVA glue and water as an adhesive. I have two different sizes of sand. So I start with the finer one, applying it on the main parts of the board, leaving some parts open for the larger grained sand. When that is done, I shake off any excess. Then I do the same thing for the larger grained sand. If you have been following my channel for a while, you probably know this, but the sand I'm using is actually used coffee grounds. The finer one are from my wife's coffee maker at work, and the coarser one is from my Mocha Master at home. Be creative in regards to the material you use for your project. It does not have to cost money. Now for some base coating. I bought a matte brown earthy color from my local hardware store. This is much cheaper than buying hobby paint. When the base layer has dried, I mixed in some white paint to get a lighter brown. This was then dry brushed heavily over the entire board. I then mixed in some more white to get an even lighter color, dry brushing a second layer. This gives the ground some more detail and makes for a more realistic look. As you can see, I'm dry brushing in lots of different random directions. Here you can see the board so far. Now on to applying some grassy areas. I used two different colors of grass, starting with the lighter one, using a mix of PVA glue and water for an adhesive. Buying flock from hobby stores can be expensive. In my country, the cheapest one is bought from the miniature train hobby store. You can also make your own. There are tons of videos on that online. To make sure that the flock had dried completely, I waited to the next day before removing the excess. Using a completely dry brush, I gently brushed over the grass areas. I then applied the darker flock in random places in the same way as with the lighter one. You may have noticed that I'm not making a frame around the board. This may cause the board to be worn with extensive use. I am aware of this. I'm just going to put something soft under my board when I'm using it. The whole point of this board is to just get one. In the future, I will probably make more durable boards, but this will work fine for a long time. I found that what was holding me back from making a gaming board was that I wanted to make the perfect one. Don't worry about the details, just make something. To seal everything down, I sprayed on some alcohol mixed with water and a mix of PVA glue and water. The alcohol helps the glue to get in all the nooks and crannies of the board, and the glue seals everything down. I waited until the next day for this to dry, before continuing on the other side. Here I'm applying a glue and water mix before putting on the coffee. This side of the board is going to have a cave/dead area inspired look, like the inside of Moria or Mordor. That is why I have mixed together the two sizes of coffee, making it more uniform. The coffee was applied using a sieve. I sealed everything down using alcohol and PVA as before, and let it sit overnight to dry. I then painted the board using a matte black paint. When this had dried, I mixed in some whites in the paint to make a grey color. This was then dry brushed heavily on the entire board, making sure to paint in different random directions. Lastly, I made a lighter grey that was dry brushed lightly in random places. And now the board is finished, ready to be used in all kinds of games. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider leaving a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Bye!